Oh boy. Things are just getting interesting. Things are are just picking up. Oh boy. Uh Welcome to episode 27 of Grand Slam. Yes, do forgive me for this lovely mess on my bed. I do need to clean this up. But first of all, if you haven't heard, my EP dropped today. I spread it all over social media. So if you're not following me on uh, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, what are you doing? go stream Voluntatum on Spotify. A living. Search up a living. It should be one of the first things that you see. I'm actually kind of happy and I'm excited for just mainly the release of the EP, and I'm hoping to work on an album pretty soon. I don't know when, but I'm hoping very very soon. So once I can get some stuff put together for that, I will let you know. But anyways, on to the topic of this episode. Charlotte Flair. If you haven't watched the title exchange segment on SmackDown this past Friday, you could tell Charlotte is done. Charlotte Flair pretty much has had it with WWE creative. Like ever since Andrade jumped ship to AEW, in which she was very supportive of him for him to go to AEW and to try to chase after the AEW World Title or TNT title, whatever title. I most likely is going to be AEW World Title that Andrade is going to be pushing to chase. Charlotte recently has not been happy with WWE creative. Yeah, so I can give you an example for that. There was some news that had come out that you remember the Raw Women's Title match between Charlotte and Bianca. Well, Charlotte wanted Bianca to go over because she is a big fan of Bianca Belair, and she wanted her to just do great things with the Raw Women's Title. But WWE Creative gave her the no finger, and Charlotte was still champion, and she still is champion. Let's see. Then we get to the title exchange segment on SmackDown, where they finally change titles, where they finally swap titles. To be honest, I still feel like that once you get drafted to another, it should have been like last year, where if the Raw, like say that for example the Raw tag team champs and the SmackDown tag team champs, as soon as the draft was as soon as the draft happened, once they switch brands, they should swap titles right from the get-go, and that's exactly what happened. This year it wasn't that. It took them up until after Crown Jewel to swap titles. Yeah. So yeah, I don't even know, but they finally did the title swap and between Becky and Charlotte. So if you haven't seen the segment yet, basically what ended up happening was, well, one of the things that ended up happening, as far as I know, was Charlotte was kind of reluctant to give up her Raw Women's title. So Becky was getting pissed off. She tried to grab the title from her, but Charlotte did a bunch of this, dropped the title. She picked it up. Let's see, and handed it over to Sonya Deville. And then Becky, as fired up as she was, threw the SmackDown Women's title at Charlotte. Yeah. If you want to know the rest, go watch the segment over. Man. It got pretty messy. It was pretty clear that this was off script. After the segment, Charlotte went to the back, and she was already on her way over to AEW Dynamite, which was on a Saturday this past weekend. Vince was very upset, and the whole WWE women's locker room was against Charlotte, and they were all for Becky because they thought Becky was in the clear, because all Becky was trying to do was she was trying to protect her character. She was trying to still be in character and everything. Whereas Charlotte obviously was in the wrong really for doing what she did. Really, to be honest, man, like, Charlotte, I feel, is good as a heel, and as much as I really like crap all over everything that she's basically been given, kind of like what I do with Ty Gibbs and NASCAR and ARCA, where I feel like he gets handed everything. No, man, but in all seriousness though, if man, I don't know really what to think of the situation. But if Charlotte is, it's pretty clear that she is unhappy. She's not happy with WWE creative right now. And Andrade has really been pushing for Charlotte to jump ship to AEW, join him. I mean, that would be as interesting that would be. AEW, it's pretty clear that they have been pretty much marked or labeled really as like the place for released WWE talent, or talent that was formerly with WWE and they're now in AEW. For example, Mox, Jericho, Hager, Matt Hardy. Let's see. Obviously Bryan Danielson, Adam Cole. The list goes on. That's some talent that has been with WWE that has just jumped ship to AEW. CM Punk's another one. But yeah, I mean, I feel like they don't really need to fill up their roster with ex WWE talent. If anything, they can still add on, but they need to remember that they need to keep their focus on all those originals. So on the AEW originals. So, I mean, obviously you can still include Jericho on that list. I mean, yes, I know I included him as ex-WWE talent because that's what he was, but just keep in mind, Jericho was amongst the starting crew for AEW. So he's an original. Sammy Guevara, Cody Rhodes, even though people really don't like Rhodes right now. Let's see, Kenny Omega, Hangman Adam Page, Santana and Ortiz, Dustin Rhodes. I mean, just to name a few, I really do think you still need to keep the spotlight on them. Jungle Boy, Marco Stunt, Luchasaurus, just more and more keep coming in. Pac's another one. Yeah. But yeah, you AEW, I feel like they still need to really keep the spotlight on the originals. The originals that have been with AEW since day one, and even in the early days, like even at the first Double or Nothing with them, or even at the first AEW Dynamite. So you can throw Jake Hager onto that list as well. Even some of the women in AEW. So not you could still kind of include Brandy Rhodes in there, but Dr. Britt Baker, Big Swole. Let's see who else. Who else could you really add onto that list, man? Man, I don't know. Nyla Rose, Riho, just more to name. So that's those are also the originals to the women's division in AEW. So you still need to keep the spotlight on them. But yeah, I do think that AEW can still be a good place for ex-WWE talent, but just don't put a vast majority of the spotlight on them. Instead, keep the focus on some of the originals, and which they've kind of done, and they've somewhat done a good job with that. I mean, like for example, with the Elite and with the Inner Circle, those two factions, even the Pinnacle, with MJF and everybody, MJF, Wardlow, Sean Spears, FDR, and even with other places as well. So, but yeah, so but for Charlotte to go to AEW, she's already filed a trademark for her other ring name, Ashley Flair, which is her real name, I would believe, if I remember correctly. If she does jump ship to AEW, great. Don't give her title shot after title shot after title shot, like you've done, like WWE has done and are still doing. Because to be honest, that doesn't build anybody else up. If anything, that just puts Charlotte on a pedestal, and you're just handing her title opportunities and you're handing her championships at the same time. And you could visually see. I mean, I feel like you could visually see, as far as Charlotte's case, that she is getting bored of that. She is getting tired of it. I mean, it's also visually clear, as I said before, that she is visually tired of the creative. So, I mean, if Charlotte is unhappy, I feel like at some point it's time to go. I feel like she needs to hit the road, go somewhere else. She could still join Andrade in AEW. She could go to Impact. She could try Ring of Honor. She could follow in her dad's footsteps, go to NWA, wrestle there. So, I mean, there's always other opportunities out there than just AEW, but still, it is possible that she could still go to AEW. You never know. All right, but that's my opinion, my thoughts on the whole Charlotte Flair WWE backstage kind of deal, and also as well as where she could possibly go, with AEW still being on the list, but not the only place that she can go to. But anyways, that pretty much does it for me. Thank you guys a lot for watching. The season finales of the Archon Pepsi Amateur Series race will be in a couple hours' time, 8 p.m. Eastern. So hopefully you guys can tune into that. And that pretty much does it for me. Elijah Leonard signing out. I'll see you in the next one.